What's up? So I think now is about the time I should tell you where we've been, like why we have not been uploading anything lately. So Erica was at work last Wednesday and she was closing up and she started feeling really crampy, like abnormally crampy. And she came home and she lay on the couch and she's like, baby, I feel like I'm having contractions. I've never been pregnant before, but I feel like these are contractions. Like this, by definition, is what contractions are. So we decided we're gonna just postpone going to the hospital and just try to wait it out. Thursday morning, I woke up and I had been woken up throughout the night from Erica tossing and turning, not feeling very good. You could just tell it was bothering her. So I gave her a kiss and I said, babe, I'm gonna go to work, but if you need me, do not hesitate to call. And sure enough, 2 hours later, I got a call. So I go to the office and I pick up the phone. It's my brother on the other end of the phone. I said, hello. He said, hey. And I said, hey. He said, this is your brother. And I said, no shit. And he's like, well, Eric wanted me to call you because she can't get a hold of you, but she's at the hospital. She just started bleeding everywhere. She's cramping. Everything's bad. And she's going into labor. So I take off and I get to the hospital about 15 minutes. It takes usually about 25, 30 minutes to get there. So that tells you something. I rush upstairs. At that point in time, she's got nurses on all sides of her. Her doctor's there. But they kind of kept her calm, and they said, "Okay, we think everything's fine. The baby's fine. Callie's doing great. But if something's going on here, we're gonna take you to the high-risk doctor in Springfield because you're bleeding, and that's not good." So they figured out. They took her to St. John's. They kept her there for 2 days. They said that the bleeding was the placenta, the little sac that's attached to the cord that's attached to the baby. In case you guys don't know what it is, that's the dummy version of it. It was sitting on top of her uterus, her uterus. I'm learning so much about the female anatomy that I didn't think I'd have to know. So her placenta is sitting on top of her uterus, which is the thing that separates for the baby to come through. That's the baby. And so that had ruptured and was causing all this bleeding. But it said it's fine as long as bleeding stops, as long as the baby's fine, as long as you're fine, like we'll just keep monitoring you. So they kept her for 2 days and then finally let her go Saturday afternoon around like 12, 1 o'clock. So Erica gets home, she relaxes, she goes to see her mom for a little bit. She comes back home, starts cooking supper, and I come in the kitchen, I wrap my arms around her, and all of a sudden she's like, oh, F. And I was like, oh, what? I thought I heard her. And she's like, F, it's running down my leg. And this is where it gets graphic. She goes, it's running down my leg, and she goes to the bathroom. It sounds like she's peeing. Like, it's very serious. I know I like to joke and this stuff, but this is the part to get very serious because it's one of the scariest moments of my life, which gets topped soon after, but stick around, I'll get there. So, it sounds like she's peeing. And I think she's just peeing the rest of the blood out. Just trying to, clear the pipes. But she goes, babe, that's blood. It just keeps coming. And it sounded like a faucet was turned on. And it was horrible. And Jesse was in the living room watching TV. I'm trying to keep calm, trying to, be a parent and keep him calm, make it seem like it's not a big situation, but at the same time, be her partner and be there for her. So I'm trying to balance being happy and not make him concerned, but at the same time being concerned about her. So I got her up. She lost so much blood so quickly that she became weak. So I had to go and get her some new pants, new underwear, get everything all doctored up, just so we can get to the hospital. And I have her hold on to my neck, and I have to hold her up because she's so weak from losing so much blood so quick. So I have to put her pants on her and pretty much carry her outside. And I'm telling Jesse hey, we gotta go somewhere. Get in the car seat, quick! Let's see how fast you can do it, And he thinks it's a game. So we get to the hospital. I pull up to the door, and I have someone come out with a wheelchair and take her in. And I'm calling everybody. I'm calling her mom, I'm calling her aunt to see if somebody can take Jesse in that emergency. Because he doesn't need to be there. And again, I'm trying to keep him calm. And luckily her dad came and took Jesse, within 5 minutes of us being there. So we get to the room again, and we get this doctor. He's an on-call doctor, but does not work for Passman. He works for like an outside company for like on-call people, like kind of like how schools have like a company they get substitutes through, kind of like that thing. So this Nigerian doctor comes in. I'm the only person that understand him because I work with people from Nigeria, Africa. Like I work with them, So he says, Buddha, and I'm like, he said your water's broken. And they go, Buddha, and I said, he said he's going to do a pelvic exam. A Buddha, 2 fingers, and so anyway, he says, your water's broken, that's what it is, you're going to have this baby. But because she's 24 weeks at this point in time, she just passed the threshold. She was 24 that Saturday. So, he said, because it's 24 weeks, we don't have a NICU, we don't have a place, a special department for preemie babies. We don't know how to handle this stuff. We have to send you back to St. John's. And because you're bleeding like this, you're hemorrhaging, we're going to call St. John's and have to send a helicopter over. But because of the thunderstorms, they couldn't send a helicopter. It wasn't safe, so we had to wait on an ambulance. They took her to the hospital, and this is where it starts to get scary again. She's sitting there, and they're hooking up another IV. They have 2 IVs going. They're trying to get her ready, and Erica goes, I feel like I'm going to get sick. So they give her like a bucket to puke in, and all of a sudden, she dry heaves for about 2 seconds, and then it turns from a dry heave to like she's like going and then she's like like that, like almost like moaning, But anyway, she was doing that, and I'm standing right beside her, and her eyes roll back, and she throws her head back and starts arching her back, and it looks like she's possessed, And, so her eyes roll back, she starts arching her back, and her arms kind of like, I'm not trying to make a joke out of it, but like she gets all stiffened up, her eyes are rolling back, and she passes out. She starts seizuring up and passes out, and they have to get the smelling salts, the ammonia capsule, to wake her back up. Definitely one of the scariest moments of my life. Definitely, In my mind, that's all I could hear is me, like this. I could just see that scene for a split second of them pushing me out the room, me screaming, and they telling us, well, she didn't come back. So even though it probably lasted 10, 15 seconds, it was a long 10, 15 seconds. So they got her back. She was fine. They hooked her up. Long story short, that was Saturday. Today is Thursday, and she's still in the hospital. Since Saturday, they've said, okay, we're going to keep you in here for the rest of your pregnancy. Then they changed it to, we're going to keep you in here until you give birth, and you're going to give birth any day. Like, because of where the placenta is at, because of what's going on, they said, you can give birth any second. And so that's where we're at right now. She's still at the hospital. I'm going back and forth to see her almost daily. I spend time with Jesse, trying to balance. And he said, even if we send you home, even if you stop bleeding, even if the best case happens, you are not allowed to go back to work until this baby is born. We cannot risk it. Just walking could cause you to hemorrhage again. Luckily, I have a good enough job. I was able to take on some overtime shifts. I was able to still balance out a home life, to be there with Jess and be here with Erica, and be at work and make enough money to support everybody. So I'm very fortunate. I thank God and the fact that He has presented me the opportunity to be able to still balance, this hectic schedule. We're gonna come out of this fine, and we're looking at the we look at the glass half full. We're looking at all the good that happens, because anybody that's followed us, anybody that's friends with us, anybody knows Erica's been in and out of the hospital. Been the whole story her whole pregnancy, you know. And we've lost one baby before, unfortunately, and so I mean this has not been an easy trail for us. But on the bright side, we're looking at it as saying, you know what, the baby, if it comes today, if it comes tomorrow, if it comes September 9th on our due date, no matter when it comes, it's gonna survive. You know, we made it past that threshold. Where right now, if it came today, the baby's at a 90% viability right now. So those are pretty good odds, and it's only getting more and more as the days go by. Right now, everything's formed. She's just in there, you know, incubating. She's just in there getting stronger, you know. So if she came today, you know, mentally she'd be fine, but like she might have like breathing problems or problems, you know, with her sight, you know, things like that. So we hope not, but those are things that we'll cross when we get to them, should they happen. Again, it's I'm not gonna make it seem easy, because it's not easy, and you know, a lot's falling on me, but I don't blame Erica one bit for it, because I know that this is one of the toughest things. No, I'll speak for her and say this probably is the toughest thing that she's ever gonna have to do in her life, and she's very strong, and I chose wisely in the mother of my newborn. I'm telling you, me and her fight like cats and dogs. She can be very hard-headed, very stubborn, very much a pain in my ass, but damn, she's not a good woman, you know. So Erica, I know you're gonna see this. I love you. Keep staying strong. I'm on my way to see you now. And everybody else who's just watching this video, to check up on us, see what we're doing. It's tough, but we're doing good. All we ask of you guys is just prayers and positive thoughts. That's all we're asking of you guys. If you can do that, we'd appreciate it. That's what gets us through the day. That's what gets us through life. That's what I believe. That's what I stand by. That's how I face my day, is just prayers and positive thoughts. You just gotta believe everything's gonna be okay, and it will be okay. So if you can do that for us, we'd greatly appreciate it, and we will love you for it. Hi. So how's the hospital life?
It sucks.
You been missing me?
I miss everything. Just being at home, sleeping in my own bed. I miss Jess.
You know who slept in bed with me last night?
They pee all over the place.
No. He actually slept like he was in a crypt or something. Like just straight, like...
You don't like that.
You weren't there to sleep in bed with me?
I wanted snuggles.
You want to snuggle? I will snuggle you so hard.
You can't snuggle me hard.
I will snuggle you in moderation.
Because it'll hurt me.
I will snuggle you with a gentle force.
Look, I got blue on my moo-moo.
Oh, man. I was so jealous of your moo-moo until that. Your belly's hard.
Yeah.
She's getting big. Is she gonna kick Dad?
Probably not. She hasn't been very kicky unless they put the monitors on. And then she's like, I hate this, get it off.
Gala. Anything?
Nope.
How's you on the camera now?
How's it feel to be filmed?
Love it. Makes me feel naked. How often can you be naked in public and not get arrested?
I made this today.
How's that popsicle?
It was good.
I bet it is.
Trying to get your daughter to move.
It looks like I can't even see it from over here. Usually it like jumps like by tens, goes back and forth. It's steady. Oh, I spoke too soon. Now it's going up. Dance to the rhythm of her heartbeat.
Yeah. Like Carrie Underwood.
You what?
Have you discussed anything with the people? The viewers about what's going on?
I tried a little bit on the way here. It kind of ran long, so I'm going to have to edit it down. You want to try to say something?
Started out Thursday morning. I got up at like 7 o'clock. The night before, I was having contractions, and I'd never had contractions before. So I didn't know what it was. I thought maybe I threw my back out. Well, the next morning, I got up to start getting ready for work and get Jess ready for school. And there was a gush of fluid, and I went to the bathroom, and it was blood and like water. And I was still having contractions. So I decided I was trying to go to the ER. They said that I was in active labor, and my contractions were 5 minutes apart. And they were shipping me to St. John's. I stayed from Thursday to Saturday. And then they released me. Well, we went home. And I took a nap. Was happy to sleep in my own bed. That was nice with my fan. It was nice and cold in there. Tyler came and woke me up about 3 hours later. Wouldn't fill my prescription. Came home and started to make dinner. And I felt a pop and then warm, like I peed in my pants. And I just kept cussing. Saying OF, OF. Profusely gushing blood. Like a lot. Like Tyler can vouch.
I did.
There's a lot of blood.
Mm.
They said that I lost 3 units. 800 milliliters of blood. So we went back, which was probably the scariest thing that's ever happened. Like, you were terrified.
I tried to hold it together.
You could see it on your face, you were scared.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we went back to a PAS event, and they told me that my water was 100% for sure broken. My water was broken. And I was contracting, and they didn't know where the blood was coming from, and they said that I immediately needed to be transferred to St. John's. So we got here, and then my favorite doctor did a sonogram, and he was like, the water's not broken, and then they figured out that I have placenta previa, and they said that my placenta is just barely touching my cervix, which is what sent me into labor. And that's also where the blood's coming from. So, it is now Thursday?
Today's Thursday.
Yeah, it's now Thursday, and I've had pretty much everything that you don't want to experience happen since I've been here, like double catheters in both my wrists. These are painful. I've had a catheter downstairs. Not fun. I've had a grown woman bathe me. Not fun. What else was it? Oh, I had a seizure and I passed out.
Yeah, I told him about that part. Yeah. Told him that was probably the scariest moment of my life.
Not fun. Magnesium sulfate is the devil. Tyler dropped a fan on me.
Okay, I'm going to cut you off there. I did not drop a fan on her. There's a little table fan that I had hold it up next to her head, like right there, and I dropped it because my arm was tired from holding it for like 20 damn minutes, and it tapped her on the arm.
This is after they put the catheter in, and my whole arm was like hurting. Right now, they're saying that there's no way that I could have a vaginal birth. There's no way at all, because if I try to push the baby out vaginally, I'll bleed to death. Even though that was the other thing. I had 2 blood transfusions.
Yeah, blood transfusions.
And they said that for me, hemorrhaging at home, and they said that if I were to start bleeding like that again, or if they had to take me emergency cesarean, I would have died. Either way. So they did a blood transfusion, 2 blood transfusions.
Yeah, that's what they said when they came in to describe why you would need the blood transfusions. They said that if you started hemorrhaging like that again, you'd probably lose about 2 units of blood, and then people lose about 2 units when they do a C-section, which bring her down to 4, and people don't survive with 4. It's just, that's exactly how I told that to Erica, and Erica just was like, you could tell it hit you.
Dying wasn't in the plan.
Yeah.
No one said anything about dying.
Yeah.
But every day it's just touch and go. We don't know what's going to happen. Callie could be here at any moment. They could take me cesarean any moment. But they told me that if I do get taken back cesarean, 3 reasons will be there's 3 different causes. Either my heart rate drops, Callie's heart rate drops, or I start bleeding profusely. And they'll take me back emergency, which is they'll knock me out. They'll take Calla, and I won't be able to see her or touch her for days. Tyler will be able to go upstairs. They said within the hour. Once she's stable, you can go up there and see her within the hour. But if it's non-emergent, if my bleeding continues and I get to a safe point where they feel Calla is big enough and strong enough to make it, they'll take me back non-emergent. It'll be like semi-non-emergent, you know what I mean? Where they don't think it's safe for me anymore, but Calla's strong enough.
Yeah.
Tyler can go back with me, and they won't knock me out. They'll just give me a spinal block. But either way, they'll still take her. I won't be able to touch her.
But isn't everything they told us too? There's like no way that you're gonna make it to 40 weeks. Like 32 is like the top. Like once you get to like 32, they're most likely gonna take her.
The doctor said the other day when they did the sonogram, she was like, if you were 32 weeks right now, there would be no conversation. She would be here. Like we would have already taken her.
Yeah.
Come Saturday, I'll be 25. So.
Yeah. So I mean, like best case scenario, like even if you make it out of the hospital, you go home, you're fine, you even stop bleeding or whatever. If you have like a smidge of anything.
Right. They're taking her.
Yeah. Yeah, because you've had kind of a long road to get to this point, so.
Well, and the doctor the other day, he was even like, the chances of you going home are pretty good. Like, first time we let you go, second time you have to stay a little bit longer, third time we admit you're here till you give the birth. Like, there's no way out.
Yeah.
You come back 3 times, you're stuck. But I'm even like...
So it's kind of like prison in that sense.
Yeah.
The whole 3-strike rule.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you gotta look like the little... Just take the good where you can get it. Like you hear that, like that's our baby's heartbeat right there. Like, that's pretty comforting, I would think.
It is. The nursing staff and the doctors and everything are, like, top of their trade, really good people. I can't complain. It's just hard being away from people that you love, you know?
Yeah.
But absence makes the heart grow fonder. I just miss you.
Look, I've only been away from you one night. Like, I spent the whole weekend here, and even on the days that I don't stay here, I came up and saw you. Yesterday was the first day I didn't actually, me and Justin come up here and see you. And that's another thing, too, that I've come to realize is that when she came in here originally, she was still not quite 24. You were still 23 weeks.
Yeah.
And they're like, every day that she stays in there is better for the baby. Like, she's going to grow so rapidly right now. And that's, like, insanely true. Like, me and her noticed that her belly's gotten bigger just in the time she's been here. And Calla, like, kicks so much harder than I remember her kicking at home.
Yeah.
Like, it used to be I'd kind of, like, put a little bit of force on the belly just to feel her. Now, like, my hands has to lightly rest on it, and I could feel her, like, trying to kick it off. Like, get the hell out of here. Alright, guys, we're going to end it here. Hopefully this is a short vlog, just kind of catch you guys up to where we're at. next time you see us, there might be a baby, there might not. You just have to watch and see. But one thing I can promise you is there's going to be better things. I believe there's going to be better things to come, so there's going to be better things to come. Just staying positive. We want you guys to stay positive with us.
Thank you for all your thoughts and prayers. Ugh. She's kicking.
Callus is high. All right, we love you guys, and we'll see you next time.